Hey guys, welcome to the very first episode, first legit episode, I guess, of Unabashed. This is part one of a three-part series on body and perception. In this one, we focus on body and perception linked to social media. My guest for today, actually my very first guest ever, which sounds super cool to say. Hers is a name that popped into my head the moment I decided to kind of execute this idea that I'd been mulling over in my head for ages. Gosh, where do I begin? She is an actor, a writer, an avid reader. Honestly, she's just so talented and cogent and a woman with an incredibly refreshing outlook. And I think that's all because of one thing, and that's that she's absolutely dedicated to growth. And I really can attest to that because I've had the pleasure of knowing her for about 2 years now, one of my closest friends since I moved to India, my good friend Swara Vaishnav.
So how are you?
Hello. I'm fine.
Cool. So before I dive into the topic for this episode, I just wanted to talk about, again, because it's a lockdown period, pandemic, and I feel like this time has just been so different in terms of us getting our space and really getting to know ourselves. So over the past, I guess since March, I've been trying to focus a lot on self-awareness, whether that's in the form of just my intentions, my thoughts, my actions, perceptions, what my perceptions of other people, others' perceptions of me, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in that journey, I've really kind of zeroed in on my relationship with my body, which is kind of the topic that we're going to delve into today. So our relationships with our bodies are dependent on so much more than just eating and exercising, right? Which actually those two things seem like the most basic, but there's so much more to this entire picture, right?
Yes.
So of course there's like so many different aspects to this conversation, but what I find, or I feel, that almost all of them are rooted in this idea of perception. So how so many people understand their bodies is not just simply based on how it facilitates their lives, right? Like, yes, I'm flexible. I can get up in the morning. I can walk. I can jog. I can move my arms. I can do whatever I want that allows me to live the life that I want to. But that's, that's not it. And sometimes, I think that's the most basic thing, but that's not it. It's also dependent on how your family views you, how your friends view you, the media, mainstream media, all those kinds of things. And this perception plays such a huge part in how we understand and thereby treat ourselves. Like, even from the first moment as children that we kind of start to understand the world, we're made aware of, other people have an opinion about my body. So I guess to start off, I want to ask you, when's the first time in your life, or your earliest memory of when you think you were made aware that, there's people that have an opinion about your body, even though it's not their body?
Okay. I think it was in school. So I remember we used to have this games period once in a week, and there was this sports teacher. She would always, it was a job to check our weight and height every other week. And we were all 30 of us standing there. And then I used to dread it because as soon as my turn came, she would check my weight and announce it and then say, Mummy khana nahi deti na? And then everyone used to laugh on it. So obviously she used to get all, she used to feel that that these students are enjoying it. So she would expand over it. Acha, mummy khana nahi deti, to khud hi kha jati hogi. So that's when I realized that, I knew that I am a little thinner than others, but that's when I realized, it's a lot more than I think. That's what I started thinking, that I'm a lot more thinner than I think I am. So that kind of pulled down all my confidence.
I'm in shock right now. I don't understand how that teacher said that.
Yeah, and because every other time she used to see me in school, she used to say that. So I used to hide from her.
That's crazy. That seems so, I mean, I understand that in India, because I was also in India for the like first 7 years of my life. And teachers were mean to me, and obviously that did have an impact, but I've never heard teachers speak ill about, a student's parents. Like
Yeah,
that, for her to say that
exactly.
your mom just must eat all the food, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. The rest of it's crazy too. That is not how you should be treating a student. And that kind of reminds me of this article that I had read. Something had come up on social media, and it was talking about how these standards that we've set, even health standards, I'm not talking about beauty standards at all, but what it means to be healthy.
Okay.
These health standards actually originated in the West, of what it means to have a healthy body in terms of your BMI, your size, your height, that kind of thing.
Right.
That didn't take into account that there are people all across the world who come from different cultures. We have different genes. We're just different people. So you can't have one particular standard to measure every single body by, right?
True.
So that's kind of what I thought of when
They
you brought that up.
standardized it all.
Yeah,
Wow,
which we really need to change that, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, so overall, this is a very broad topic. But I want to narrow it down today. So specifically in today's social culture, social media seems to have a huge bearing on that perception, right? Of, how they see us, and we see ourselves as a result. This week, we're gonna title it Body and Perception. So diving right in, and this might be a slightly uncomfortable question, but I figure this entire series is about being, unabashedly transparent. And I think I'm a little nervous too, because I'm going to be saying some things that I've kind of been holding in, but let's just go for it. So my first question is, do you edit your photos? Any pictures, whether it's for yourself or you put out there, do you edit them?
Yes, I do edit my photos, but I think it's more from a photographic point of view. Okay. As in, for me, what matters is that the background should be good enough. Or like if there's a green bush behind me, it should be a little more greener. It should look a little fresher. Or if there's a mountain, it should look a little sharper.
Sure.
So that is what matters the most to me. Yes, sometimes I do feel that, my skin is not looking that good or something like that. And it's like sometimes I'll edit my photos for all that, the greenery to look a little more fresher. Basically the surroundings, and sometimes it'll be like I just feel like posting it, so I'll just post it. So even if I mean, I'll be honest, I am conscious of my dark circles and my teeth. So sometimes I don't like certain pictures because isme daant achhe nahi lag rahe or something like that. But if my heart says that, you know what, you can just post it, it's okay. Nobody's going to be so rude, or even if they are, it doesn't matter. So that's when I just post it, because I don't always want to spend so much of time editing a. Sometimes I just feel I don't want to go through all that. I'll just post it without editing.
Can you imagine just the process of putting up a picture is so draining, like it's so taxing? How?
Yeah.
It's a picture. It's a freaking picture that you're putting up.
It's just a picture. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we just put so much thought into it.
And I also feel that if I have to use Photoshop to edit my normal pictures, then I'm cheating myself.
Were you ever tempted to, like when you were younger or when you just started Instagram, or even editing photos for anything, were you ever tempted to, or did you always have this mindset?
No, I wasn't. I think it's also because I entered social media at the age of 18.
Okay.
So I think if it would have been in my teens, then things would have been different.
I think, I don't know, somewhere I want to say that your experience is very different and very specific, because that might be around the same time that I also got on the social media game, to be honest. Or maybe I think like first or second year of university, actually. Before that, I wasn't really that active.
Okay.
Yeah, but all of these things like still did have a bearing. Gosh, when I was in high school, I think it was grade 10, and we had like a computer science course, and we were learning Photoshop, right? And it was the coolest thing for me. And in retrospect, obviously, but how sad is it that the first thing my brain thought when I started learning Photoshop is, oh my God, I can edit the way I look in photos. And that's, social media wasn't even that big. Like, sure, we had Facebook, But I mean, at least I wasn't using it too much. And I just wanted to keep these photos for myself, but I wanted to see how it would look. So I learned how to like edit, you know, whether it's like little rolls of fat or just like a little bit of my face. And I remember doing that kind of stuff. And I remember I came home and I showed my dad a picture, and I was just, you know, no, Dad, it's just a project, and I'm just like, you know, brushing up on my skills. My dad was like, don't ever do that. I don't care if you're brushing up your skills, do it for something else, not for this. And I remember that really stuck with me. So I have never, like now I never dare.
I also think that it's really fun to do that, you know, see your photo, see yourself transform on a picture and through Photoshop. But it draws you in. I've also seen that it draws you in, and you start feeling like, okay, it's okay if I post one picture. Sometimes that starts playing in your mind.
Yeah, you don't know how you kind of slip into that river of, and it's just, you're like, oh, how did I get here? So on Instagram, what about filters? Do you use filters? How do you feel about them?
Filters on story, I like them personally because sometimes I don't like it's not that I don't like, but I'm too lazy to apply makeup. And sometimes if I just want to post a reel, I'm in the mood to post a reel, and I don't want to apply makeup, I can use those filters just so that, you know, it looks a little professional.
Right.
But it has a negative side to it as well, because I was just watching this documentary on Netflix, The Social Dilemma.
Yeah.
And they showed a few statistics where they proved that many teenage girls in America, they were opting for plastic surgery, and their reference look was these, the way they looked in these stories, which was the perfect nose, the perfect lips, and all of that. So I think that's where it gets really tricky.
Yeah.
Again, that age is tricky. So.
No, that's so true. Like I said, I was really influenced when I was in high school, in like grade 9 or 10. Now I think I'm just so much more aware, also because often we view social media as this like negative thing because it's perpetuating a lot of unrealistic standards. But also it's a place where there are communities that you can become a part of that teach you to become more self-aware and, you know, exercise self-love. So, like, I'm not going to sit here and hate on social media, but I'm digressing. In terms of the filters, I didn't know that. I have yet to watch this documentary that everyone has been raving about. But that is terrifying that girls are actually using this as a standard, and they want to kind of change their bodies in that way.
Yes.
I do enjoy filters, but I think the best part about them is that you can tell if someone's used a filter. Instagram makes it so that it's at the top, right? Correct. So while you feel nice looking at your face in that filter, if someone else puts up a picture, you're not going to be fooled. You're going to know, even if it's the most natural filter.
That is true.
Because the whole world is about, especially kind of media, it's all about how you look. A lot of it is about how you look.
Yeah.
So to be really honest, like, we're not going to be able to eradicate this entirely, this idea of looking a certain way. It's just we have to start becoming more inclusive. But yeah, it's such a gray area, eh? Like, I think it really depends from person to person and just educating them.
Yes. I guess even you need to work for it. Like, even you need to change your mindset.
Yeah.
How you look at yourself.
Yeah.
And how confident you are, which of course is a gradual.
Things that are changing in the world. Every couple of years, there's such a huge difference, whether it's in culture and whatever it is. You're the only constant throughout that entire thing. So you need to hold on to yourself, not the way other people are, not trends, not what other people consider as attractive in the now, but it's you.
Right.
So I think when you do that, whatever comes by, you can tackle.
Right.